Welcome to a deep dive
Oh, this is going to be good.
into the world of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So
He's everywhere these days.
he is, and we're using this new biography to really pull apart his story.
So kind of a cradle to
yeah,
where
childhood,
he is now.
the rise of his companies,
All of it.
a little bit of his personal life too.
Yeah. The good, the bad.
The mission here, I think, is to figure out
I like that.
how this one person has become such
Yeah.
a force in tech.
Like, you can't deny it. He's
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
And then maybe we'll learn a thing or two.
Yeah, maybe a couple
for
lessons along the way.
Success and failure, right?
You know, I think what's so interesting about this is we hear so much about Musk's ideas, but I think this deep dive is really going to help us understand, like,
The man behind the ideas.
yeah, the driving force behind them.
Yeah, peek behind the curtains,
Yeah.
see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, see the wizard at work.
We'll explore what makes him tick, how he built these companies, and try to grapple with the controversies that seem to follow him everywhere.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah,
You can't separate
it's part of the package.
the man from the myth.
Yeah.
And one thing that really struck me early on in the book was how much his childhood seems to have shaped his ambition. Growing up in South Africa during apartheid, imagine that, in a society grappling with these huge social and political issues.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The book does a great job of painting a picture of that time.
Paints a vivid picture.
And, witnessing all of that firsthand
Yeah.
makes you wonder if his drive to make a difference stems from those early experiences.
That must have had a huge impact.
Yeah.
And it seems like this adventurous spirit might run in the family.
Oh, yeah.
His grandparents,
Yeah.
especially his grandfather, were quite the characters. I mean, imagine leaving a comfortable life in Canada to start over in South Africa. That's a big
It's a big leap.
That's a big leap.
That's a big leap.
And, I mean, Elon seems to have inherited that go big or go home gene,
Totally.
wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but the biography doesn't shy away from
Yeah.
some of the
It doesn't sugarcoat it.
tougher
Yeah.
parts of his childhood.
No, he describes it as, like, miserable.
Really?
Yeah, due to a strained relationship with his dad, Errol,
Wow.
which I think gives us a little bit more insight into
Yeah.
the complexities of his personality.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if that intense drive
Yeah.
to change the world might be rooted in overcoming these early challenges,
Pushing himself
Yeah.
to
yeah.
prove something
He has something to prove.
to himself and to the world. Yeah.
Maybe. It's a chip on his shoulder, maybe.
But even with that difficult family life,
Yeah.
his fascination with tech was clear from a young age.
Oh, from day one.
The book talks about building and launching model rockets
Classic.
as a kid.
Right.
How many of us were doing that?
Right.
Not many.
It wasn't just rockets, though. The book talks about him, like, advocating for solar power during school debates.
Really?
Like, this is way
Amazing.
back when he was thinking big picture, future-oriented issues
Yeah.
that most kids would never even consider.
It's like he
He was
was,
ahead of his time.
yeah, he was born with this innate sense of what the future could be.
Absolutely.
And that kind of pragmatic, laser focus
Yeah.
extended to his academics, too.
Oh, tell me about it.
The book describes how he excelled in the subjects
That grabbed him.
that fascinated him,
Yeah.
but almost strategically
Strategic.
failed the classes that he wasn't interested in.
Until he realized there were consequences.
Until he realized, there were consequences. You can't
Yeah,
just
right.
phone it in.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting how,
He was a first principles thinker.
yeah,
Even back then.
yeah,
He focused on what mattered to him.
yes,
And wasn't afraid to break with convention, even if it meant learning some hard lessons along the way.
totally. His college years seem like a real turning point, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he finally found his tribe at that point.
It was a more nurturing environment for him.
Connected with like-minded friends, deep into strategy games,
Oh, yeah, like hardcore.
spent a ton of time playing video games like Civilization.
Honing those skills.
And I can almost see him in his dorm room,
Dude, I'm telling you.
like honing his
I can see.
strategic thinking skills.
Yeah.
Great.
For sure. And those skills.
Those skills weren't just for fun.
No, they weren't just for fun. He was already putting them to work. Selling computer parts.
Yeah.
Fixing computers from his dorm.
Wow, this guy was an entrepreneur
From the start.
from the get-go.
From day one.
But here's the thing that I found so interesting.
Okay, tell me.
He seriously considered a career in video games,
Oh, that's interesting.
but he ultimately decided against it.
Why do you think?
Why do you think?
Well, according to the book, he felt like it wouldn't have a significant enough impact on the world. Yeah. Like he thought it was beneath him almost.
Really?
Yeah, he had bigger fish to fry.
So he already had that.
He had that drive.
That drive and that purpose, yeah.
That grand purpose.
Yeah.
To leave a mark.
And that, I think, is what led him straight to Silicon Valley after graduating from Penn.
Well, that's where the action was.
He even turned down a doctorate at Stanford to jump headfirst into the internet. Boom.
Talk about a leap of faith.
I mean, that's a wild move.
Huge risk.
Yeah, but that's where his first real taste of success comes in.
Oh, yeah.
With Zip2.
Zip2.
Classic Silicon Valley story.
Scrappy startup.
Yeah.
Taking on the establishment.
And you see so much of Musk's work ethic and determination already on display there.
It's all there.
Like in those early days.
All there.
The biography describes those early days as a real struggle.
Oh, yeah. They had to pivot their business model.
Multiple times, yeah.
Several times before they found their niche.
But it was Musk who really took charge.
He was the driving force.
Learned to code.
Worked around the clock.
Dude.
And just willed the company to succeed.
Wow, that's impressive.
There's this story about his grueling bike ride.
Oh, yeah.
It just sums it up.
Tell me about it.
He pushes himself to the absolute limit.
He's got that drive.
Refuses to give up.
Yeah.
That's Musk.
It's a recurring theme in his life, wouldn't you say?
Totally.
This superhuman drive.
It's crazy.
To overcome these obstacles. And it paid off with Zip2. They landed this lucrative deal with Compaq.
Yeah.
Selling the company for $307 million.
I can't even imagine.
You're not bad at that.
What that must have felt like
company
to have that kind of success.
That started from nothing.
It must have been intoxicating.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do after that?
And it wasn't long before he was channeling that energy into his next venture.
Oh, yeah. X.com, which we all know became PayPal.
As we all know.
But even in those early days, there were seeds of controversy.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the John O'Reilly lawsuit?
I am.
That's a good one.
He claimed that Musk stole the idea for Zip2.
Oh, wow. So how did Musk...
It's interesting how Musk dealt with that early legal challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, he fought tooth and nail and ultimately reached an agreement with O'Reilly to drop it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a preview of future battles.
It's almost like a foreshadowing.
Both in business and in his personal life.
Totally, yeah.
So that Zip2 exit, though, gave him the resources and the confidence to swing for the fences with X.com.
And that's when things get really interesting.
Yeah.
He sets out to revolutionize banking.
Banking, wow.
Which ruffled some feathers, as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Right.
Big time.
The biography talks about these intense clashes with his co-founder, who was way more cautious.
Yeah, and found Musk's pronouncements, especially in those early days, a little over the top.
Yeah, a bit much.
A bit much.
It's like he was operating on a different level.
Yeah, he was thinking bigger.
And moving fast.
And faster.
Than everyone else.
Yeah.
And that intensity, that almost manic energy, really defines his leadership style.
Totally.
He worked tirelessly, came up with counter strategies on the fly.
Wow.
Fiercely competitive, especially during that battle with Confinity,
yeah,
which we know now as
PayPal.
Can you imagine the atmosphere at X.com during that time?
Oh, it must have been a whirlwind.
It must have been wild.
Yeah.
But then, in a dramatic turn of events,
this is crazy.
Musk was ousted as CEO.
On his honeymoon.
While on his honeymoon.
Talk about a buzzkill.
Ouch. Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
He tried to fight back, of course.
Yeah.
But eventually he accepted the situation. But you can tell that this experience really solidified his determination to maintain control of his companies in the future.
That's a theme we see over and over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a wake-up call.
It's like he realized, okay, I need the right team.
The right structure.
The right structure if I want to...
If you want to call the shots.
If I want to execute my vision.
And execute your vision.
Yeah.
And this brings us to, I think, a pivotal point in Musk's journey.
Yeah.
From dot-com millionaire to aspiring space explorer.
With the birth of SpaceX. It's incredible how he went from
the big shift
online payments
to space travel.
It's
remarkable.
It's like he needed a new mountain to climb.
Yeah, he needed a new challenge. And conquer.
Yeah. And it's no coincidence that he chose LA as his base.
Of course. LA, the hub.
The hub?
For the aerospace industry.
You put yourself right.
Keep yourself in the right place at the right time.
where you need to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, and his initial plan was,
A little unconventional,
yeah,
to say the least.
mice to Mars.
Mice to Mars.
I mean, come on.
It's